All right, so we will now continue with increasing by percentages. However, this question that we have here is increasing by a fraction. We approach it the same way with a bit of technicality. All right, so we have here, what is the result when $60 is raised by a third? What is the result when $60 is raised by a third? The setup is as always. $60 multiplied by 1 plus a third is equal to something we don't know. All right, so in the usual case, this is normally our percentage, but now we are giving it as a fraction. We still approach it the exact same way by adding our fraction to 1 to show the growth of 60 by a third. All right, that's how we do it. We can now add these two numbers. 1 plus a third is, we can do a little fraction here, but fraction is done in another video, so we won't spend much time doing fractions here. All right, so it's gonna be 1 plus a third is 4 over 3. So we see here that $60 multiplied by 4 over 3 results in 3 into 3 goes 1 time. 3 into 60 goes 20 times. 20 times 4 is equal to 80. So when we increase 60 by a third, the result is 80. A third of 60 is what? A third of 60 is 20. A third of 60, because what's a third? When you divide 60 by 3, you get a third, which is 20. If you increase 60 by a third, which is 20, you get $80. All right? Very good. Next question. What is the result when 60 is reduced by 2/3? We approach it the same way. Multiply by 1 minus 2/3 equal to something we don't know. When we do the subtraction here, the result is 1/3. Multiply 60 by the 1/3, the result is $20. So when we reduce 60 by 2/3, this is how we write it. And 2/3 is the same thing as 66.66%. 1/3 is the same thing as 33.333%. It's basically dividing 100 by 3 and dividing 100 by 3 here and multiplying by 2. All right, so you see 60 increasing by a third and 60 reducing by 2/3. All right. One more example. Well, actually 2 more. What is the result when 70 is reduced by 50%? We do our setup, which is 70 multiplied by 1 minus our 50%. All right. 1 minus our 50% rewritten is 70 multiplied by 1 minus 0.5. All right. Do this subtraction here, we get what? 70 multiplied by 0.5. And this right here is $35. So when we reduce 70 by a third, no, by 50%, I'm sorry, by 50%, The answer is $35. When we reduce 70 by 50%, the result is $35. Right? Very straightforward and understandable. Now the last question is a bit more tedious. What is the result when 60 is raised by a third, then reduced by 50? What is the result when 60 is raised by a third, then reduced by 50%? First, we do up to here. We take care of this part, just this part, increasing it by a third. So it's going to be 60, increasing it by a third, $60. Let me just rub this out and just do it, because we already did it up here. We already did it here, but we're just going to do it again quickly down here, which is going to be 4/3, which is equal to $80. And then we will reduce this $80 by 50%, which is equal to something we don't know. So we're going to write 80 multiplied by 0.5. Well, 1 minus 50% is 1 minus 0.5, which is actually 0.5. I think we can skip that step now, which is equal to $40. And this means we're finished. This shaded square box means we're finished. So as you can see, we increased the 60 by a third, got 80, and then we reduced the 80 by 50% and got 40. And these are all question marks, which mean we don't know the answer yet. Alright, that's J2T. Stay tuned for a lot more videos.